Hello everybody, Dokkan Assets here. Today we are back with another figure unboxing video, and today I have a very special treat for you. We're taking a look at our first unofficial Bandai slash Banpresto Ichiban Kuji SH figure arts figure, whatever you want to call it. Not just because I've had this guy for a little while and I really want to crack into him, but I'm kind of mad at Bandai right now. Today's review was going to be Gogeta, but unfortunately the peg that literally holds his waist together quite literally snapped in my hands during the video. So keep an eye out for that video whenever that decides to come out. I'm going to see if I can't order a replacement, but in honor of being angry at Bandai, we're taking a look at an unofficial figure today. We're taking a look at the Demoniacal Fit Ultimate Time Ranger, aka Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. This figure is really cool because obviously they will probably never make an official Super Saiyan 4 Vegito SH Figure Arts type of figure, right? I think an SH Figure Arts figure of a Dragon Ball Heroes figure unfortunately just won't sell well enough for them to warrant kind of making it. So we have the boys at Demoniacal Fit stepping up to the plate. If you're unfamiliar with Demoniacal Fit as a company, they are essentially a third-party Dragon Ball figure creator. They sometimes create figures in the SH Figure Arts style of stuff like this, of characters that will probably never get one, and sometimes they make them of characters that have a exclusive version of a figure, like a SDCC exclusive or something like that. And then they essentially make their own version, so if you want that figure in your collection, it's not as expensive and it's not gonna, be harder to get because it's a convention exclusive. This sticker I almost don't want to cut because it has the logo of Demoniacal Fit on it. I think that's pretty sick, but we'll cut it for the sake of the video here. But yeah, so this is my first figure from these guys. I am really excited to see how this figure fares, and I gotta say, I've actually been really excited for this guy. I was following this guy way since he was originally in the prototype stages of being revealed on the Demoniacal Fit Instagram page. A lot of the time they'll show prototypes and nothing will come of it. Like, they obviously make figures all the time, but a lot of the time they'll just be like, oh, look at this idea that I had, look what I'm working on, this and that and the other thing. And obviously it's like, oh, I really want that to exist, but it's just a prototype. And sometimes they get made, and lucky enough, my boy made it out of the production hell, I guess you would say. So we're going to be taking a look at him today. And now, this is going to be interesting to see because obviously this figure is a third party, so we can't expect, or well, you would think we couldn't expect the same quality as Tamashi, even though we quite literally just saw that my Gogeta Blue figure fell apart in my hand. So let's go ahead and crack into this bad boy here. Wow! Okay. This is a really nice looking figure, I'm not gonna lie. So a little bit of the, proportions, I guess you could say, especially the shoulders kind of scream like that it's not necessarily an official figure. But the face sculpt looks really good. Like, I gotta say, I think maybe his eyes are a tiny bit too big, but overall, I really dig the face sculpt. I think it looks good. We have, obviously, the big boy hair, because, of course, Super Saiyan 4 Vegito has this ridiculous haircut. Unfortunately, these aren't on hinges. These are just rubber, so I wouldn't mess with those too much. But they are still very cool, and definitely, obviously, they had to include them, because, of course, that's a Vegito staple right there. Maybe they are on hinges? Oh, no, they are on hinges. Oh, never mind. Look at it go. Okay. All right, Demoniacal Fit. I see you. That's really cool. They, as well, capture the fact that the pants are actually orange. I feel like I see a lot of Dragon Ball Heroes stuff do this now, where they give Vegito red pants when the pants are supposed to be orange, because that's how it originally looked. This looks so cool as well. Obviously, we have the split cape at the back, which is how it looks for the actual design. We have the tail here, which unfortunately, this is probably the one thing about the figure that's not as great, right? This is on a ball joint, but this isn't articulated in any way, right? You can't bend it in the middle or anything like that. It kind of just sticks onto the back of the figure in this little hole here. And you can sort of just move it around. Granted, I don't really know how much tail articulation you need, but that's just one thing to note for sure. Obviously, with the legs and arms, everything looks good. I guess let's start with the articulation for this guy. I'm sort of just gawking at him right now. Okay, so 360 on the arm. I'm very timid right now, considering my Gogeta just fell apart in my hands. I'm kind of scared to manhandle anything right now. But the arm articulation looks really good. You know, this is basically just standard what you would get with an SH Figuarts figure. Ooh, that joint is a little bit tight though. That is the one thing that I think maybe is more consistent on Bandai figures, is that their joints seem to be pretty tight, all things considered. Sorry if it's blurring, by the way. Like, some of them on this figure are a little bit loose, right? Like, that is a really loose joint for the hand. But some of them are also really tight, like this joint right here is, ooh, that's a little tight. That's definitely, yeah, and then this one is a lot less tight, right? A lot less pressure that you have on there. Definitely when you have figure joints that are tight, if you play with them a little bit, you can definitely get them to loosen up a little bit over time. His head does move. I don't want to 360 it. I'm sure that it could, but obviously since his hair is right there, right, I don't want to like risk breaking anything there, so we're just going to keep the hair how it is. But yeah, the arms move 360. His waist, wow, that's actually a really clean swivel, if I do say so myself. You can go the full 360 there. I don't want to do it because I just broke Gogeta doing that, but this feels pretty good. It's a little bit tight, but honestly, I think it's just about where you would want it. As well, this part is rubbery, so it does kind of bend correctly against the figure. In terms of his legs, you do get some really good articulation. I love the shading, by the way, this like sort of dirty look on the pants. It looks really good. Nothing right here, but obviously here you do get a little of articulation. This is also, ooh, that's a really loose joint. Holy cow. The toes do move up. Oh my gosh, that's really tight. Okay. Ooh, and you can move it down a little bit. I don't know if that's intentional, but you can obviously just put that back flat-footed. The only thing is, and this isn't the designers of this figure's fault, but obviously the articulation is a little bit like limited by the cape. I mean, granted, it is rubber, so you can still kind of move past it a little bit. Also, the leg is really tight when I push it out to here. I feel like it shouldn't be that tight, but I don't want to move it anymore. I'm going to take the tail off because it's a little bit annoying. I don't want to move it past there just in case I end up breaking it. Yeah, this leg feels a lot less, what do you call it? A lot less tight. Definitely. Yeah, I don't know if I could bend it more than that, honestly. Like, it feels like I'm forcing it a little bit. So the leg articulation is definitely a little bit lacking, even though they seem to be copying the 2.0 style of the legs that a lot of Dragon Ball SH Figuarts figures use with like that sort of joint, you know, technology in there. It still feels a little bit tight, unfortunately, but definitely not the worst that I've ever seen. He can also ab crunch. I would be a little bit worried about that though, just because it does look like that the plastic here is rubbing against this plastic, so definitely be careful. As well, there's basically no gapping, like a little bit tiny bit if I really extend the sculpt, but in the natural spot there is no gapping. Wow, crazy how a third-party company can do it, but Bandai can't figure out how to not make that work. Obviously that also reflects on the back too. Obviously you can see that there's a little bit of a gap there. And I think that's really it for articulation on our boy. This is a very nice figure, honestly. Again, like I said, you probably won't get ever an official version of this character from an SH Figuarts figure. So third party, especially for this type of thing, is really the only way to go. Let me go ahead and put his tail back, and then we'll take a look at the accessories, because he actually has quite a few of them. So first of all, let's take a look at the heads that we have here. We have the neutral head. Obviously, he had on the smirking head. Definitely not a bad look. Let's go ahead and pop it on his old cranium here. Let's see what it looks like. How do we actually put the head on? Let's see. Where do we pull? I don't want to... Oh, it's just the whole head. Okay. Oh, interesting. And then the bangs are a separate piece, it looks like. Yeah, okay. So you attach those basically like later, I guess. Okay. That's pretty cool, because then obviously if you're playing with this guy and you're trying to reconnect all these parts, right, then you're not going to end up breaking off the bangs when you're trying to push them onto his head, because you can just put his head on and then stick the bangs on there. That looks really good. Holy cow. That captures Super Saiyan 4 Vegito's look pretty good, honestly. That's pretty nice. Yeah, okay. I definitely like that sculpt. Now, this is the one that I will say is a little bit sussy to me, is this one, because you kind of have this little weird teeth outline going on there. Funny enough, Bandai figures do that a lot recently, where they sort of have like, it almost looks like the character is eating chocolate or something like that, which is a little bit strange if you ask me. Probably not going to be my favorite head. I don't know. I feel like every time I've seen a gritting teeth face on a opposable figure, it's never been my favorite. And yeah, that's definitely not terrible. Obviously, this would look better if he was in like a struggle pose, you know, like if he was fighting or something like that. But of course, you know, it's still not the best just because I think the black line or the little bit of like chocolate pudding around his lips, I guess, makes it look a little bit cheap and goofy. But the smiling face and the smirking face, I think, are really good. Definitely be careful when you're taking this off, by the way, because obviously you don't want to break the bangs there. Alright, and then our final head is the Screaming head. Oh, and there's an... What?! They give you an extra set of bangs? Demoniacal fit you shouldn't have. Wow! Okay, so I guess we could put those on for the other head. But yeah, there's the two boys right there. It almost looks like a mustache. I don't know if this one is like specifically made for the Screaming head. We'll have to try it here. Alright, so let's go ahead and stick that on. Yeah, so this is the regular bangs. Let's see. Do those fit in there? Yeah, those fit in there just fine. And that looks pretty decent. I think his mouth is open maybe a little bit too much. Oh! But I mean, it's not bad. It's definitely not bad. Yeah, I definitely think his mouth is a little bit too open. And it's like a little bit too, I don't know, sunk into his head. But overall, like, definitely not too bad. Again, keep in mind, this is a third-party company. It's like just a couple of dudes basically making this. These are the other bangs, by the way. Is there a difference? It kind of... I think the only difference is that these bangs are a little bit out farther. Yeah, they're definitely a little bit, like, swung out a little bit more. So I guess these are more like action bangs. If you want to have some sort of, like, more of an action scene with a lot of movement and, like, the characters flying, these definitely are a lot farther, like, extended out from Vegito's head, for sure. Interesting. That's really cool. Like, that's the kind of thing that I love, right? Such an unnecessary accessory, but such a sick one at that, right? Like, they definitely didn't need to include that, but I'm so glad that they did because it's just extra, like, customizable options, you know what I mean? I'm going to keep the smirking head on him, honestly, because that's my favorite head. I definitely like that one a lot. I think that they captured his likeness very well. I'm always impressed when third-party companies can do it so well. Alright, so we have a ton of accessories here. Before we get to the crazy good accessories, let's go ahead and take a look at all the hands he has. And he has quite a few pairs of hands here. Let's go ahead and get these out of the box. Okay, so wow, we have a ton of different hand accessories here. First of all, we have the Vegito iconic come here hand, you know, the sort of Yosha hand, kinda, you know, that he's known for sort of giving the bring it on sort of move. We have this very open palm hand, which either what this is for holding one of the accessories to kind of support it, or this is to, if you want to attach a Kamehameha that SH Figuarts has, this could easily wrap around that for sure. We have a instant transmission hand, which is definitely a staple of course, any Goku-related figure, right? This is super cool, and I don't think I've ever seen this included in an SH Figuarts figure. We have a thumbs up hand. This is awesome. This is so cool. I really like this. I might actually display the figure with that hand. That is super cool. And then we kind of have your more basic hands. We have the open palm hands, right, which usually would be included in a Dragon Ball figure. We have these grippy hands here, which are pretty decent, right? And then we have another grippy hand with a hole in it, which I assume, again, this is for one of the accessories here that you can stick that in there. And then we have a big bang attack hand that's obviously flat and not like the Kamir hand. I feel like if this was an SH Figuarts figure, it would not have all these different hands because these are so many various accessories that I think are really, really cool. Like, I've never seen them do a thumbs up hand before. Alright, so let's go ahead and take it to big boy accessories. First of all, we have the signature. I guess we'll use one of the hands to scoop it out. We have the signature spirit sword here for Vegito, which is really cool. I'm thinking that probably this hand right here, right? Because the only unfortunate thing about this is because this is a a third-party figure, rather. There ain't no instructions in here, right? So you just kind of got to wing it with how this works. But I do believe that's how it looks, at least on the back of the box right there. You can see that looks about right. That should go in there. I'm sure probably most of these hands, right? Maybe this one as well could also work for that purpose. But let's go ahead and chuck this on him. So this would be this hand. Okay, so this would be his right hand. I always do that. Whenever I'm trying to put hands on a figure, I check my own hands to make sure that I have it right. Yeah, that definitely works right there for sure. Ooh, that looks sick. Yo, that's so cool. That is really nice. Okay, so obviously it is a little bit short. I mean, they can't make it like crazy long, which I mean, I guess is ironic considering the next accessory. But, oh, that is really cool looking for sure. Let's get a little bit of a pose here. Oh, that is really nice for sure. Oh, that's cool, bro. That's sick. Yeah, that looks really nice. That fits in there very well, too. It's literally just held up by, you know, his hand, right? And this one isn't as heavy, so I don't think that the, if you kept this on him on the display, I don't think it would really hurt the figure, whereas some other figure accessories are so big that they hurt the joints of the figure. I think this would definitely be fine. The other thing for this one too is that, interestingly enough, I was saying that the joint for this arm is tighter. I almost wonder if that's because this was intended to go on this arm. I feel like that would be super big, like planning ahead, so maybe not, but if that is the case, good on you, Demoniacal Fit. Alright, so I was just talking about the accessories that might actually hurt your figure. Look at this ridiculous thing! Oh my gosh, so this is sort of a iconic Vegito Super Saiyan 4 specifically attack. Ironically enough, this specific piece is featured in the card art for Super Saiyan 4 Vegito in Dokkan, where he uses this attack. This thing is crazy, dude. The sculpting on this, first of all, is really, really nice, I gotta say. I like it a lot. I really, really like the slides in of red that they did on the paint job. I think they did a very good job with it. Obviously, it is the same sort of mechanism to put it onto Vegito. You would just slide it into that hand here. I don't know if it's a different hand. It kind of doesn't look like it. It looks like you just slide it on there, and that's how it would be. See, that one? That one might be a little bit cumbersome for the figure's joints, for sure. Let me double check the box. The only other hand that looks like it may fit in there would be this one, right? Like, you could maybe have that hand sit in there and then the thumb would sort of extend out a little bit, but I'm pretty sure, I mean, this would be the only other reason I would see this included, because there's no ball accessory included in there. But then that would also go on his other hand, and if we look on the box, you can see that he is holding it in the hand that we just had the blade in. So I'm assuming that it goes on this hand. This is a very insane accessory right here. I suppose this would go on like this, right? And then you would have it in front of him. How? I don't even know how you would probably need to like invest in a separate stand to even like have this work, because obviously this is such a big accessory and it's so cumbersome, and you know, it's like, of course, on a figure where, look at his arm is like drooping, right, when you have him try and hold it up as well as he can. It's really cool though. I'll try and get some good shots with this. I'm really glad that they included it. It's just like, bro, how do I display this? How do I make this work? I don't know. It looks really cool though. Like I said, like, I definitely am glad that it's a part of the package for sure. So that is it for, I believe, all the accessories in the articulation. Wow, this is such a cool figure, bro. Let's go ahead and do some size comparisons. I wanted to bring the camera down to get a little bit of a more proper size comparison here. Of course, we have our two regulars, the Ichiban Kuchi Gotenks and the Super Saiyan Blue Dokkan Battle WCF Goku. Of course, this is a 6-inch figure. This is your standard SH figure where it's kind of size. So, of course, the figure is going to be around this big, right? It makes sense that Gotenks is obviously a little bit bigger than him. Let's actually see. Is he around the 6-inch mark? Yes. On camera, he almost looks more like 6.5 inches. Honestly, IRL, he might be more like 6.5 just because his hair is so pointy at the top. I would say 6.5 inches is definitely just about where this guy is at. Okay, so of course, when it comes to this figure, your boy has to compare him to some other SH Figuarts figures for scale, because of course we want to see if this could fit into your normal SH Figuarts collection. So, of course, we have to bring the boy out, Saiyan Raised on Earth Goku. We also have, I guess he kind of fought Broly, not this Broly, but I mean, like, he did fight Broly. Here is the Fury Broly SH Figuarts from the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. And besides him, the other figure that I wanted to bring out for a little bit of comparison today, Goku, move aside, my brother. Move aside, my bro. Yes, we have the official SH Figuarts Premium Bandai exclusive Vegito Blue. This guy, like I said, being a Premium Bandai exclusive is a little bit hard to get. And I actually did a video on him a long while ago. I just never finished it or like uploaded it and all that stuff. So if you would like to see that video, definitely let me know. I still have it on my hard drive. But these guys all look really, really cool together. I really, really like the look of this figure with the rest of the SH Figuarts that he stands next to here. I think he fits in very, very well. Obviously, in terms of the size and scale, he easily could pass for an official figure. I think that there's no question about that. Even with like the way that he's shaded and the minimal amounts of shading on specific parts of the figure, whereas other parts aren't shaded, I think the Demoniacal fit does a fantastic job sort of emulating that SH Figuarts style. In terms of the specific comparisons here, obviously Vegito's size is pretty comparable to Broly, so it's cool that even though they're obviously maybe not referencing all these different figures, they fit in very well. And of course, the two Vegito Blues are basically just about the same size, which makes sense because obviously it's basically the same two characters fusing together. And these two also look awesome together. I might just have to have these guys side by side on the shelf. I've had my Vegito Blue fighting my Zamasu figure for a while now on my desk, but that might have to change with the advent of this guy coming out of the box. Oh man, this is such a cool figure. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. If you would like to pick up this figure for yourself, I will try and find a place that you can buy it. I know that I pre-ordered it off of a website that I think I've never used before just because they happened to carry the figure at the time. And I mean, obviously they came through, the shipping was fine and the figure came fine. You might be able to find this guy probably more on eBay if some normal figure retailers aren't carrying him, because of course people who resell it, buy it, would just have a couple copies laying around. I think that this figure was honestly very worth the price that I paid for it. Honestly, with all of the accessories that were a part of this package, all the different hand pieces, I honestly would have been willing to pay way much for this. Way much more, rather, excuse me. And especially with the quality, Demoniacal fit, you have really impressed me. I'm hooked, bro. I might have to get some more DF figures of some characters that either they won't be making into SH Figuarts figures or some con exclusives that I won't be able to get. But if you would like to support this channel and me potentially reviewing more Demoniacal fit figures, you can definitely hit me up on the old Patreon. Of course, very much so appreciated, but not necessary. You guys watching the content is what matters to me. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next one. Dokkan Assets out. Peace.